An actor with style and delivery can elevate the form and the human spirit with their performance, but at the end of the day, it's also a profession. Although a role in a critically acclaimed indie flick might earn a few pats on the back and awards, at the end of the day, it's usually blockbusters that pay the bills. These actors have been guilty of taking gigs strictly for the money, but to their credit, they were totally upfront about it afterward. Sir Michael Caine in Jaws: The Revenge. Sir Michael Caine is one of the most acclaimed actors in modern cinema. His 6-decade filmography is laced with award-winning performances, including his roles in Woody Allen's Hannah and Her Sisters, as well as several nominations for Alfie and The Quiet American. Naturally, not every performance can be a winner, and not every film is destined to be met with critical acclaim. And like the rest of us, Michael Caine still needs to eat. Hence the actor's participation in fares such as Jaws: The Revenge, the fourth and final movie in the Jaws franchise. The knighted thespian is unapologetic for his presence in the movie, which scored an embarrassing 14% audience review on Rotten Tomatoes, and his famously candid quote sums things up perfectly. I have never seen it, but by all accounts, it is terrible. However, I have seen the house that it built, and it is terrific. Sir Alec Guinness in Star Wars: A New Hope. For the younger members of the cast, 1977's original Star Wars: A New Hope was a springboard to a film career. But for their veteran counterparts, the space opera was just another job. Take Alec Guinness, for example. Already the Academy Award-winning star of renowned films like Dr. Zhivago and Lawrence of Arabia, Guinness, who plays Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original trilogy, was reportedly nonplussed with his newfound Star Wars stardom. His autobiography includes his recollection of a moment when he discouraged an overzealous fan from watching the films again, and he clearly saw the part as a paycheck in numerous interviews.
And then when I opened it and found it was science fiction, I thought, oh, crumbs, this is simply not for me.
While on set, he also wrote to longtime friend Annie Kaufman, "I just think, thankfully, of the lovely bread, which will help me keep going until next April." The force was strong with his wallet. Jackie Chan in Rush Hour. Since Jackie Chan's official Western audience debut in 1995's Rumble in the Bronx, Chan has remained a consistent presence on the American cultural landscape, even enjoying a stint as an animated character in Jackie Chan Adventures. In the late 90s, though, seeking to further his global influence and crossover appeal, Chan teamed up with Chris Tucker for the Brett Ratner-directed action-comedy flick Rush Hour. It proved an undeniable box office darling, spinning off several sequels. But later, Chan admitted his own distaste for the goofball movie. "I have reasons to do each film. I have something to say. Unlike Rush Hour, there was no reason in making it. You just give me the money and I'm fine." I dislike Rush Hour the most, but ironically it sold really well in the US and Europe.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Don't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, man.
Well, ain't that a kick in the chops. Glenn Close in Guardians of the Galaxy. Glenn Close's talent speaks for itself, but in today's film industry, the bulk of the films in development are would-be tentpoles, and prestige pictures are few and far between. It left actors like Close, who appeared in Marvel's first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, to subsidize their art through sometimes surprising means. I just did 2 independent films this summer, and I had an absolute ball with fantastic actors. But in August, I'm gonna go off and do the next generation of Marvel Comics Disney, and I get to be the chief police of the galaxy. I'm doing that because it will then afford me to go to the other kind of movies that I really love. Sadly, under the circumstances, her mercenary attitude makes sense. So moviegoers can certainly forgive Miss Close for her fiscally based rationale. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Airplane. Whatever happened to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's movie career? Sure, he wasn't about to win any Oscars, but he was pretty solid for a basketball star turned actor. His Airplane role as the Captain Roger Murdoch marked the beginning of a post-NBA acting and voice work career.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Abdul-Jabbar's motives to branch out into acting may not have been artistically pure, but he did have a natural charisma that, in addition to his colossal height, made him stand out. Airplane co-directors David and Jerry Zucker said they offered Abdul-Jabbar a cool sum of $30,000 for the role, and the Hoopsters manager got back to them with a very creative reason for a slight hike in rate. The agent asked for $35,000 because that's how much this rug cost that Kareem wanted to buy. Our initial reaction was, that's got to be the best line we've ever heard from an agent. But then a couple of weeks later, there's an article in Time with a picture of Kareem standing in front of the Oriental rug that he'd bought for $35,000 after we'd paid him. At least Abdul-Jabbar was upfront about his real requirements. Betsy Palmer in Friday the 13th. One of the big gotcha moments in the horror blockbuster Friday the 13th is the climactic reveal that Jason isn't the murderer, but rather it's his mother played by Betsy Palmer. For the killer role, director Sean Cunningham recruited the TV vet Palmer, whose credits include Studio One in Hollywood and Love American Style. Apparently, the opportunity came at the perfect time, as Palmer told MovieWeb.
The phone rang, and my agent said, "How would you like to do a movie?" I said, "Great, that'll pay for the car that I want to buy." And I said, "Oh, nobody is ever going to see this."
Boy, that sure backfired on her. The movie's visibility, that is. Hopefully not the car. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.